This is the plaintiff, Brenda Weathersby. She says she hired the defendant to install an awning over her deck, and the thing was supposed to protect her furniture from the elements. Well, not 2 days after the job was completed, it rained, and all her things got soaked. Seems he didn't make the thing wide enough. She's very unhappy and wants the $5,190 she paid him back. This is the defendant, Jeff Klegger. He says his family's been in business for well over 50 years, and what the plaintiff wants is simply not legal nor safe. Safety's his first priority. He tried to satisfy the plaintiff by adding extensions against his better judgment, and quite frankly, there's just no pleasing this lady. Return her money, however, he will not do. He's accused of yawning over an awning.
Okay, Brenda Weathersby?
Yes.
You are suing Jeffco Manufacturing, represented here by Jeff Klegger?
That's it.
Okay, for $5,190 that you say he owes you for the cost of an awning that you paid him and the cost to replace some damaged items as a result of the defective awning,
Yes.
according to you. Okay, what's going on?
I hired Jeffco to put an awning over a brand new deck that was just built.
Okay.
And it had to be wide enough, and the sides had to go down, the sides of the deck, so water can go down from all ways. 2 days after the deck was installed, well, first I didn't get it when I was supposed to. After it was up, 2 days later, it rained, and my entire area was soaking wet. It was coming down the walls, and I had puddles of water on the deck because it didn't drain off because there was just so much water. And I found out later.
The puddles on the deck, would
Yeah.
that be the awning's fault or the
awning's fault, because if it covered and was caulked properly, the water wouldn't have gotten in. The deck was
at all?
Not at all.
I'm having difficulty envisioning this deck. Do you have pictures?
I'm not.
Is it on the second story or the first story? Or
second
what?
story.
Okay, and who built the deck? That's your contractor?
Yes.
Okay. And he built the deck on the second story,
Right.
and then you hired him to do the awnings, the defendant.
Right.
Okay, so go on.
So from each rain, of course, if it was a heavy rain, I would have water about that high leaning up against the deck that couldn't get out, because it's not supposed to rain up there. So
It's not supposed to rain on a second story?
Not if it's covered, completely covered.
So
I
you call
called
him to tell him,
and
look, this awning's not wide enough.
Well, I didn't tell him it wasn't wide because I didn't know what the problem was at the time. I just said water's coming in from everywhere, from the sides, from the front that did go over like, why is the water here going down the wall to where the outlets are, which knocks out all electric each time because the water.
You had electric out there?
I got electric, yeah, cable, telephone, everything.
In an outdoor space that has an awning on top?
Yes, but it's
this
up.
stuff couldn't have been permitted.
It's up. It's a wall.
I know it's up, but this couldn't have been. Come on up.
It's a
Come on
wall
up.
this
Come on up.
high.
Are you licensed?
No, ma'am, not right now.
Was any of this stuff permitted?
Yes, ma'am.
It was permitted? Can I see the permits?
Oh, the permit's from the city of Philadelphia.
Yeah, yeah.
10 years
it was
ago.
permitted?
More than 10 years ago.
So when you say it was permitted, some other guy years ago permitted to do it, but then you did it your style and nobody ever came out and checked it.
Correct.
Okay, go ahead and have a seat. I'm probably going to have more questions for you later, but go ahead and relax.
But you know what? I just called him. I said, I have water coming everywhere.
Okay.
And then I see screws that aren't screwed.
And he says?
And he says, okay, I'll send someone out.
Did he go over? Or did
he
send?
came out
Okay.
a little while later. And I said, it's coming from down there. And he says, oh, I guess my guys didn't caulk it. He was saying he would send his guys out to do that, to caulk it in the back and the seams and whatnot. And they did that. But it rained again. It wasn't as wet, but the water was still there.
After his guys supposedly caulked it.
Right. But it wasn't coming from the original place, and it wasn't coming from the back wall. And I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. And then I realized after a while that it was hitting this part and bouncing back in because it didn't go over the deck the way it should have.
So you realize that it's hitting, when you say this part, you have built like a 5.5 foot tall wall.
Right.
On the deck. So when you say this part, you mean it's hitting the wall. You think it's hitting the wall because this awning didn't go all the way over the wall.
Right.
Okay.
So if this is it, the awning only goes to here instead of there, so the water can go over. So it's actually hitting and coming back in and splashing back in.
Okay.
So then that's all the way around except for the front
Okay.
portion.
So you're suing for the amount you paid him to get it installed, as well as what it's going to cost you to repair the wood, the fan, replace I can't read this handwriting. What does it say? $275 for replace what?
Receptacles.
Can you come up, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Come on. Replace receptacles. Why?
Because the water has damaged the receptacles
How can it be legal to have are there receptacles in?
inside
It's
of
in
the wall.
Here, I have the
Look,
pictures, Your Honor.
How can that be legal
have
on an
the
outside
pictures.
space?
Oh,
Yeah,
how can
show
it
it to me. I'm sorry. Stay where you are. Hand it to Douglas.
The receptacles are GFR protected.
Do you have pictures of the actual awning?
No.
No. All right.
Oh, wait.
So is this wood? Exposed wood?
That's wood.
In your 5.5-foot wall is made of wood?
That's
Yes.
correct.
But it's the awning. Okay, but there's space between the end of the wall and the
4
awning.
inches, ma'am. The awning starts at 8 feet at the house.
Right. So it's not
And-
4 inches. There's 5.5 feet, and then the awning starts at
Okay,
8 feet.
on the sides of the awning, comes down.
That's not my question. I'm trying to figure out why you would use raw wood in an area like this when there is a 2.5-foot opening where weather's going to come
No,
in
not
through. Isn't this
2.5
going to warp?
It's
And
curved.
It's only that much.
The awning is
Comes
curved and
down.
it has sides on it.
what about humidity? Is no humidity in Philadelphia?
Yes, humidity.
All right. In any event, you call him and you tell him it's still happening. What does he do?
At one point, Ernest had told him that he could make it wider, 12 inches on each side, and it would go over the sides like it's supposed to.
Right.
And he said it couldn't be done, but then he checked with one of his men and he said it could be done. So
Okay.
that was the deal. So he sent me another bill for $700 more.
How'd you agree to that?
No, not,
And he sent
didn't
you the
even
bill
know
after
about
the
it.
work was done?
No, and I called him. I said, "Did you know about this?" He says, "Well, he left a message on my machine telling me about it." I said, "I'm not giving him more money. It should have been done right in the beginning."
Addition of roof extensions as per agreement with Ernest Peak. Is that you?
That's me.
Okay. We will fabricate and install 2 brown awning roof sections that will be attached to the existing roof. The end wings will be moved to the new sections and everything tied together with beams and square channel. The awning in its present size was measured and discussed with Ernest before it was installed. Your roof and wall normally preclude doing this width. However, against my better judgment and advice, we are proceeding. Let me be clear. The choice for the extension is yours, not mine. I do not feel it is structurally a good idea. Okay, what does this mean?
I have photographs. Okay. All right. The way although it's on a deck, this is a very constricted space between the high wall and A-frame roof.
Wow, it does look smaller than 2.5. Oh, I guess because this is the curve.
Well, yeah,
Right.
it's a very tight
So the
spot.
space from here to here is 2.5 feet? Okay.
Yeah, about that. If you extend the awning and built the awning to extend past it, the end wings, the side panels, would be hanging in air.
First of all, I have a question. In this
Sure.
picture, it's longer than this picture.
Well, that's because we started to extend the awning.
Oh, so did you finish it or you didn't finish it?
No, we did not.
So she wanted a job that was screwy, but he did it, and now it's leaking. Does she get her money back?
She should, absolutely. She told him what she wanted. If it didn't work, he needs to say no.
He should have said no to the job, just said, I'm not going to do it even though you're insisting.
Yes, because he's the expert and he knows it wouldn't work.
Okay, so he's the expert, but she's insisting and the job doesn't work. Does she get her money back?
She should.
Oh, you guys are just too sympathetic to the consumer the way I see it. Going inside the courtroom.
Why couldn't you make it the length that she wanted it from the beginning?
Because of the way, if you look on the photos, you'll see the way the deck is built. It has an indentation, then comes out, and then there's nothing to tie the sides into at the wall.
Okay, I need you to come over here and explain it to me because I don't understand. So figure out what pictures will help you out.
Too far.
Right
Too
here,
far.
right here.
Oh, right
Where are you
here.
going? You think I was going to invite you back here with me? Right here, just
Where?
right there.
Okay.
Right there.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, now.
So can you? Are any of these pictures?
This is the awning to its original
The
width.
original awning.
Width.
Oh, okay, so this is the roof line.
Right, and then we had to extend the awning out to here,
Okay.
and then you're beyond the wall.
Wait.
When we extended the
Hold
awning...
on. This is what I'm seeing in that picture.
Right.
Right there.
Right, yes.
Okay, so that is the actual roof line, because this isn't a roof. So
Right,
that's the actual
roof line of the awning. You can see it's out in
All right.
midair.
So
there.
you would have to cut into the roof line in order to have made it wider,
Well-
because you cannot attach it.
Well, I couldn't build the awning so it would be safe to extend past the end of the wall like that.
End of the roof line
Right.
of the existing
Right,
roof
right,
line.
right.
Because if you do that, then the wind is going to come up and blow the whole thing apart.
Right, yeah, it could rip the thing off the
But
wall.
the wind won't rip it up if you put it here. Why?
Because you're firmly into the building itself.
Okay.
And
So
when-
did you explain all this to her
Yes.
back
when
then?
the very day that we laid out and measured the awning.
Okay, go ahead and go back to the lectern, please.
Yeah, and I could-
Did he discuss with you how long it was going to be?
We did, and I explained to him how it needed to be. He told me that he's been putting up roofs, those awnings for 40 years, and I really don't need to be telling him how to do it.
Okay.
And I explained to him that you should go from...
Okay, but you knew then, before he did it, that he wasn't gonna go from A to B for where you wanted him
No,
to go.
he
was gonna
explained
go
to me
here.
that he could make it to accommodate the roof that I had, the balcony that I had made.
Okay,
How
a
I
person
wanted-
usually says that when they're being stubborn and not giving in. I've been doing this 40 years, I don't need you to tell me how to do this. That's what a person says when they're stubborn and not giving in. You're telling me under oath that he gave in.
Because he wanted to make the sale, ma'am.
All right, so now...
This
Yeah.
conversation never took place. Ernest sat, and we laid out the awning, 192 inches. I showed him where it was going to start.
Does the contract say 192 inches? The
Yes.
first, let me see the contract.
All the paperwork. Here we
Can
go.
I see the contract?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Do you have the contract?
I have one, yes.
Sure. Here's both the
And
written
does it say
contract.
192
Here's the written
inches?
contract.
Yes, it does, but I...
And did you not see that
Here's the
192
written
inches
contract.
wasn't
I
what
never
you
saw
had?
the
No,
confirmation.
he never
Sent
saw
out to
that.
them later.
The measurement of the awning is right on the contract. If he's there to talk to him and talk about how big an awning you need, why isn't he there to see the contract before you sign it?
I told him prior to him even writing the contract up or anything, that where it needed to be, that roof line is more than 16 feet. It
So you
just
put
has
it
an
up,
offset.
and then you get a call from her, and she tells you it's not what she tells you. Water's coming in.
Right, so I went and I inspected the awning, and I could see the various service problems, which we did remedy.
Okay, and what were the problems?
There was the wall, it needed some caulking here and there, it needed some more sealant.
All right, now you're asking for $1,950 for several items that you say have water damage. Can I see the pictures of the water damage, or did you already hand me
You
that?
have them.
I have them? Okay,
Yes.
hold on.
Your Honor, could I ask
Okay, I'm looking at you pointing at water damage on the bare wood that is part of this thing.
Right.
More water damage on the bare wood.
That's going around the
Okay,
entire
and
deck.
then there's a piece of awning. I know you had a picture of a piece of awning that came off. Where's that?
No, I have some. You have some up there.
Okay, I think he has a really good
It's
picture of
on
it.
a
Is this
deck.
it?
Oh, he took a picture.
That's
that
a good
was
one.
But
So
that's
what is that that's going on there?
That's
That
the
is
second
actually-
time.
That is actually part of the extension, that was not part of the original awning. When we took the...
I know, but you can't leave her with this looking like that if you undertook to do the extension.
I did not,
I mean,
I was coerced into that over a period
nobody's
of a year.
coerced. Wait, how big was a gun that was put to your head to do the
That
two
was,
strip?
there were this constant pressure.
Then
to do
no,
this.
say no.
I did say no,
And then you said yes.
And I had a weak moment, and I said yes,
Yeah.
and I advised against it, and it did not work.
Why didn't it work? In the first rain it came down?
No, because it's because extending building extensions onto the structure created unsafe.
Did you have an agreement with her beforehand to charge her $700 for the extensions?
I did through Ernest Peak. He
And
was
Ernest
invited.
said, yes, we'll pay $700?
Yes,
Did
right.
you say, yes, we'll pay
No, I
$700?
didn't.
I mean, she'd be better off if you had not have done what you should have done, which is not succumbed to her request, said, I gave you a contract, you saw the contract, it said 192 inches, I've done my job, and I'm not going to do something that is unsafe and is going to turn you into Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. That would have been better, but you didn't. And then you're doing the extensions, and then they're not working out, and then you're like, "Ooh, that's your problem. Yeah, it can't be her problem. She's got to get some money back because she's got to pay somebody to take these extensions out if they don't work because you didn't take them out." And then you, of course, don't have an estimate for what that would cost because that's not what you want. What you want is, do you have an estimate from an awning guy to add extensions?
No, not to that. Add extensions to take it down and put up another one because I.
Let me see your estimate from the awning guy. Here's what's going to happen. Had you stopped at what your contract says, at 192 inches, I would tell Ms. Weathersby she just has to go home. I'm very sorry. You should have read your contract. All right? The problem is that then you got involved in trying to correct the situation to make her happy by adding these seams, and then you never finished adding the seams. You put a part of it, and the next thing you know, she's left with this awful-looking product because she's got half-made-up seams that end up ripping off in the wind, and that's not fair to her. And that's going to cost her some money to remove. Now, I am not going to order him to pay you for all the things that got wet, because I believe that you wrongfully thought that you could make an indoor room out of what is an outdoor porch. No matter how you slice it, if you have a gap between your awning and your wall, you can't expect wood, raw wood that's there, not to warp and get wet and everything else, because there's an enormous space that water's going to come through. Water doesn't always go down. Sometimes it rains this way, okay? And it's the elements and it's the humidity, okay? I am, however, going to order that the defendant return to the plaintiff in order to take off those two end pieces, $1,000. Verdict for the plaintiff, $1,000.
Well, maybe the Yawning guy should have never gone back there to try to augment that job in the first place. Here, let's turn around this way and tell me how you feel about this outcome here.
I'm disappointed to have lost, but I think it was a fair judgment.
Mm-hmm. Well, am I right? Should you have not gone back there to try to augment your job?
Believe me, yes, I should not have gone back. Should not have gone back. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I let my business sense be overridden by pressure from my customer.
What? You're a guy with 40 years experience, and you
Right.
let a customer talk you into something?
Right. Yes, I gave into
What's
my.
all that experience with?
The human and emotion part is just tough to deal with.
Right down there. Okay, head right down there. What are you going to do now?
Put the rest of the money to have somebody to fix what he couldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like it's maybe not possible to do what you want.
It was possible. If it wasn't, he should have never taken my money.
Well, that's probably true. If he couldn't do what you wanted, he should have said no to the original job. But what are you going to do? How about just hanging some heavy plastic down on the side?
No, we'll have someone
No?
to take that down and do it the right way.
You're going to take the whole thing down and start
The whole
over?
entire thing down and start over.
Harvey?
Okay, bottom line here is that a businessman does have superior knowledge. So unless there is a written express waiver that whatever the businessman does, the customer has to accept it, the businessman is on the hook. And that will do it for this case. Litigants, for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.